Hey there, this is Dr. Pam Perry, and again, another great Speakers Magazine show with our cover girl, Tam R. Luck, deluxelifemedia.com. You're going to hear from her today, and we're going to talk about women bossing up and where that all came from. She is doing the thing. Matter of fact, this is timestamp, but next week is her Las Vegas Boss Up and Scale event. So without me saying all the details, let me just bring up Tam, okay?
Hi there, how are you?
Good. So I'm excited. Vegas is the place next week, and you have been doing this for a while. So give us a little bit of backstory, Tam, about where you started and all the books that you have created and launched and promoted. And I think I saw on the website 40,000 books sold to date, or is that?
That's correct.
That's correct. Yes,
Mhm.
yes. So it's been a lot of things in a short amount of time, the success that you have had. But tell us that it didn't start where it started, because it didn't start out like boom, all of a sudden it's 40,000 books. So give us a backstory about how it all started and how it came to the term of the movement that you started, bossing up, right?
Yeah, it's interesting because it did not start, it wasn't overnight success. I was having this conversation yesterday, or actually today, specifically about how it seemed like, it really started to take off around 2017, 2018. But really, I was in business. I've been in business most of my life. I always say over 20 years, but my parents were entrepreneurs. So I started off as an entrepreneur. I learned how to sell lemonade on the side of the road. I was selling paintings. I mean, I've always been an entrepreneur. And you would think that because my parents were entrepreneurs that I would have just picked it up and learned it, knew it, was successful. I even went to college for marketing, and I still couldn't get my business going. It took me for a long, long time. And where BossUp came from was one of my many ventures. I was an investor in the early 2000s, had quite a bit of real estate investments and developments and a hair salon and duplexes and all these things. And as you know, what happened around 2006 through 8, it was a difficult time in this economy. And oh my goodness, I lost my butt. And it really caused me to lose faith in myself. Was down on myself. I had a really hard time, and I had a hard time coming out of that hole mentally. So when the pandemic happened, it felt very similar. It was like, Tam, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna dig a hole? You're gonna lay down? You're gonna give up? You're gonna go backwards? What are you gonna do? Because I've done that before. And I said, no, you got to boss up. You have to boss up. And I felt like there was a lot of women out here that wanted to say the same thing. You have to boss up. And we've all had things that we had gone through that was difficult in life. And so, our moms and our aunts have told us about difficult stories, and we have gone through difficult stories. So, I thought that this was such a good thing for other women to be able to find strength in. If it's like your auntie or your girlfriend tells you, girl, don't worry about it. Let me tell you what happened to me. You can get through it. And I felt like that was missing. We were just allowing the next generation of girls to think that they had something wrong with them when they really didn't. We were just carrying all that load ourselves of the difficulties that we went through and not really sharing it to the next person. So the movement came, it wasn't even a movement at all. It was just a book when it first started. But now I can't even believe what's happened. It just keeps going, and books.
How many books, Tam?
So right now we've published 10 of the BossUp books. I have over 20 books that I've done. But the BossUp books we just published 10. We're working on currently 4 more this year. We're about to publish 2 more in the next few months. And we're working on.
Wait a minute. That is seriously, I mean, that is a major feat. It really is, because not only are you building the books and having women tell their stories, but you're building community.
Yes.
And you're showing them how to market. And part of it, this event in Vegas, I always say that God doesn't waste anything. So you have real estate speakers.
Mhm.
You have PR marketing speakers. Obviously, I'm one of the PR people as well. And
Mhm.
then we have Letitia Nicole and Kiera and Talisha Berry. They're all part of it as well. But the real estate speakers, because that was your background before.
Yeah, well, I was in real estate for a long time. I had my real estate license for 17 years. I was in
Hmm.
commercial real estate.
Hmm.
One of the books we just published, one of the, I think, number 9 was Women in Real Estate Who Boss Up.
Ah,
And yeah, so it was this book here, right? Women in Real Estate.
I love the cup. Wait a minute.
Isn't that beautiful?
I love, so this is the thing that's different about your anthologies, and no shade because I was in an anthology too, but my
Mm-hmm.
my picture isn't on the front or the back, just my
Mm-hmm.
name. And so you have this vision, this marketing knack to put everybody's picture on the cover of all of the books.
All the books. And the reason why I do that, this goes back to something Oprah Winfrey said one time. She said she didn't even know she was beautiful till she saw Beverly Johnson on the cover of Vogue.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And I thought, that's important. That's important for us to see ourselves.
Yes.
I mean, no shade in any of these personal development books or these collab books, but I thought that was very important. So that's why we
Yeah.
make that. And you
And
can
I,
look and see. Yeah, you
mhm.
can see there's a lot of diversity there. Yeah, so I really started off. So Women Who Boss Up in Real Estate book happened, and it was very successful. And
Mhm.
I started thinking, oh, wait a minute, these are women who boss up in their own businesses. They do have some incredible stories. Why don't I double down into real estate? And the other thing was boss up and scale. There's another thing that I want to get across to women. I want you to make your money in your business. Let's say you're a coach. Let's say you have some kind of other kind of business. You finally get your 50,000 a year, 100,000 a year, 100, whatever you're making. Start investing your money, because that's another thing I learned. When my parents, made a lot of money in their career, but they weren't ready for getting old, getting
Right.
sick. They weren't
Mhm.
ready for any of those things. So boss up and scale. Boss up, yes. Now you need to scale and make sure you're ready for the future as well.
And that's where the whole event that you're doing
That's right.
is, and I want people to go here, deluxe life deluxelifemedia.com. They can find all the things that you do, the coaching,
Mm-hmm.
the books, how to get involved in all of that. I haven't never done before. I'm gonna try and
Mm-hmm.
present the magazine. And
Yes. And you did
listen,
a beautiful job on the
no,
magazine. Oh my God.
no,
I
I
got like
love
a
the
million
cover.
people are like, oh my God, damn.
This is something that I'm going to try to do. I've never done this before, and I don't know if you see.
Oh,
Do you see the
yes.
cover? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
good, good. So this is the cover of the magazine. It is the story is written by Sierra Black. The
Mm-hmm.
biggest challenge I had in bossing up, you said, was learning to get over myself. Damn our
Mm-hmm.
luck. And it says Women Who Boss Up. I love the story, the layout, the whole issue is really good. But really, one of the things last year, your company completed a 6-city tour with over 11,000 attendees. And
Mm-hmm.
was 2023 events on the way. And so you have to tell me, I know we've got the one that's coming up. They can go to the Bitly Boss Up tickets, but you got to tell me about the one in Paris, right? I'm gonna stop sharing. You got to tell me about the one that you did in Paris.
Yeah, so last year we put on a lot of events ourselves. It was a lot
Mhm.
of work, and we were in a lot of different cities, and I was approached by another company who asked me to come and speak at their event. So I thought, okay, this is cool, and I went to the event. I brought another colleague with mine, and then it dawned on me, say, hey, wait, I don't have to do every event just because I encourage other people to go. It can still be a part of my Women Who Boss Up movement, right?
Mhm.
Even if someone else puts it on.
Right, right.
So yeah, so we had so now I took, well, I think we had 6 or 7 people went with me again when I went to Paris just a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago,
A
right.
few weeks ago, I have about 8 or 9 people going to Spain in a few weeks.
Oh my.
Right, we have events going on in New York. Now, I didn't put these events on this year. A lot of these events are not done by me, but We
It's
have,
part of the movement.
yes, a part of the movement, pushing my ladies out there, starting to get them on stages, starting to get them more confident in their ability to speak in front of a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And then also we are trying to do, we haven't confirmed it yet, Dubai in November.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
This is like serious.
Mhm.
So people can go and right now they can read speakersmagazine.com, read the story, read the backstory about Tam. If you are near Vegas or the closest thing smoking near Vegas, if you're in California, because that's normally, well, you're from Midwest, you're Ohio, grew up in Ohio, but then you
Mhm.
lived in California for many, many years.
Many years,
And
yes.
now you're living in Vegas. So if in and it's at the M Hotel in
Mhm.
Henderson, boutique hotel, very lavish,
Beautiful
very
hotel, yeah.
luxury, all the way. If you can, I see that Latrice Cantrell, she says hello. She's over here as
Hi,
well. Hey,
Latrice.
hey, Latrice. If you can get there, because I'm telling you, it is 2 days. Well, actually, it's 2.5 days.
Two and a
So
half
tell
days,
so
yeah.
tell everybody what's going to be going on, like the first day, the second day, and talk about the glam part, that you're going to be doing.
Yes. So, I'm all about the movement and I'm all about the women in my movement. So part of this is not just about getting more people into the movement and attracting more people. It is also about celebrating the women that are already there.
Mhm,
So the
mhm.
first day on the 12th is really a lot about them. We're doing a whole glam, we call this glam pack, right? So this is like a model session. So they have about 15 ladies that are flying in early. They're getting makeup and all the things done, outfits, and then we're going to be taking photos of them in a studio all day. Plus, we'll have mimosas and the whole experience.
And I
Then there'll
think you're
be
going to have a 1060 or a 360 machine, correct?
yes, exactly,
I love
exactly.
those. I
So
love them.
fun, so fun. So
I
then
want
we'll
one
take,
in my house.
and then we're going to take them, pick them up from there to in a limo to the hotel, and then take pictures in front of the red carpet. And by that time they're already dressed and ready because we have a opening welcome reception that night at the M inside the winery. That won't be a big affair. That'll probably be just women
Yeah,
that came in
intimate.
early. But it
Mhm.
will be, I think, so nice, so beautiful, so fun. And
Oh.
that kind of kicks off the whole thing.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm. That's day
Then
one.
that's
Yeah.
day one. So then on the 13th, I call the first half of the first day Boss Up and Level Up. Okay.
Okay.
So we got the president of the real estate association who's coming to speak about how to succeed in a complicated real estate market. So that starts it
Wow.
off. Then
Oh.
right after that, I have my Boss Up real estate panel. And so these are some of the women that are in my other real estate books,
Mhm.
the ones that we're working on now, the one we did last year. They're going to be talking about some of the things that they're doing to boss up their business and get more visibility. After that, I have women flying in from Singapore talking about being an investor, why it's so important for women to be investors. Her name of her company is femvestor.com. And
Wow.
then after that, we have another woman. Oh my gosh, this woman is like, I can't even believe I got her. She is a beautiful African American woman from Nashville she's a big developer. She's a huge business. She is developing an amusement park.
What?
I know.
An African
So
American woman?
yes, I
Oh my God.
know. So
Okay. Okay.
she is like, so the reason when I talked to her and I thought, oh my gosh, you don't even understand. I heard about her 3 years ago and I met her a few weeks ago. And, she's bossing up. That's boss up. That's
Yes.
boss up in
I
scale.
don't know
So
of any amusement park owned by an African American person, much less an African American woman, right?
woman, yeah. So
And she's
she's
out of Nashville,
incredible out of
out of
Nashville.
Tennessee.
I
Okay.
know. So she's going to be there speaking with us, and then the first half of the second day is called Boss Up Your PR and Marketing. The second day and the first part of the day is called Boss Up and Speak Up.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
So
Definitely.
and then the last part of the day is called Boss Up and Beyond. And I have this amazing woman from Orlando flying in. She's another one, incredible story. Started off as a teenage mom,
Hmm.
and now she has a multi-million-dollar international business. And, just really thinking about what are you going to do? I mean, what are you planning to do with your business? Are we going to keep it small? You're going to try to boss up and scale? What are you going to do? And just taking us to a whole nother
Well, what
level
is her
mentally.
name? What is her
Her
name?
name is Veronica Figueroa.
Veronica.
Veronica
I've
Figueroa.
heard
Yeah.
of her. I've heard of
She's
her. I don't.
amazing. She has the #1 team in EXP Realty for the last 2 years in a row.
Yes, yes. And she was a
Mhm.
teenage mom?
She was a teenage mom.
Wow.
Her story, I interviewed her last year for the book, for a Women Who Boss Up in Real Estate book, and I actually started tearing up. And that doesn't happen very often.
Right, right, right.
So, yeah, I
Mhm.
was like, oh my goodness. So she has become one of my mentors. I'm so honored that she is going to come
Mhm.
in for my event. So it's going to be a powerful event. If you can find your way there, it's not just going to be about books. It's about bossing up.
Right, right.
Yeah.
And then that's one of the things it's women who face challenges, who are being empowered, and then you're about the community empowering each other, hearing the stories.
That's right.
And so the third day, was that the third day? Well, you didn't
That was
talk
the
about the
third
gala.
day.
The gala.
Oh, yes, the gala. Oh my gosh, the gala.
I was like,
So,
when did we miss the gala?
right,
Okay.
the second day, we are going to have this wonderful gala event at night where we'll be able to, we have a new partnership with Dress for Success. And
Ooh, I love
yes,
it. I love the mission of them.
I
Yes.
do too. I used to be a member of Dress for Success. It was one of the first nonprofits that I ever, partnered with. And then I started working with other ones, and I started to think. I was really praying about it, thinking of Tam, who do you really, really want to partner with this year?
Mhm.
And Dress for Success came back, and I thought, oh man, that's exactly what I want to do. So,
And Dress for Success really is like a workforce development type of organization, but really its image is everything, especially when you're going to a job interview. And
That's
so
right.
Dress for Success really helps women style and boss
Yes.
up so that they
Yes.
feel confident. When you look
That's
good, you
right.
feel good, and you get the job. And so they provide free
Yes.
outfit,
Yes,
free
they do.
outfit
Free
to
outfits. Yeah,
yes.
and that one of the things my mom always told me, because my mom was she was a queen. I'm telling you, she had to be a queen in her past life, but she was a queen, and she always said, "Listen, you can solve a lot of the world's problems by putting on some red lipstick."
Ah, that's true. They do always say that. It said it's like, put some lipstick
Put
on,
some lipstick
everything will be
on.
okay.
Everything will be
Everything's gonna be
okay.
okay.
And
Right,
it's
right, right.
true. As soon as you
Yeah.
put the lipstick on, you're like, it's gonna
You
be all
feel better.
right.
You really do.
too.
That is so true. My mom used to say that too.
Same thing.
And it is so true. So really the gala is one of the things where you're providing proceeds to Dress for Success.
That's
And
right.
so
And
we'll all be dressed up,
we'll
and
be
we're
dressed
dressing for
up.
success and
Yes.
actually helping other women as well.
That's right. That's right.
I love it. It is like a full circle moment for you, Tam. So how does it feel? I mean, there was a period of time, I won't give it all away because I want them to read the story in Speakers Magazine, but there was a period of time where you were living on someone else's couch.
Let me tell you, and then when you said that, I felt a little goosebump come through my body. Oh my goodness, it's like yesterday. I remember after 2008 when I had lost my real estate, and I felt terrible. I felt so bad. I felt like I couldn't do anything. I had created some stuff. I'm telling you, like I said, I had real estate in Beverly Hills. I had all this stuff going. I'm telling you, I had so much going. But when I lost my real estate, oh man, I didn't think I could take care of myself anymore.
Mhm.
Literally,
Mhm.
my ex-husband almost took my child away.
Mhm.
It was terrible. I was sleeping on my girlfriend's couch, and she had some mental health issues. So that means that in the middle of the night, she's up, walking around naked and opening up cabinet doors. I remember I felt like I was in a crazy house. I'm telling you.
It was just kind of like, it's like, what nightmare did I wake up in? It's like, when is it going to end?
What is going on? Like that just tells you it's mindset. It's what's going on in your
Amen.
mind. You can do incredible things if you believe so,
Mhm.
right? But as soon as you get yourself in a dump, oh my goodness,
It can spiral down.
it can spiral
And
down.
and so what was the epiphany that you had to say, "Okay, I've got to get off this couch and I've got to boss up"? What was the epiphany of the things that really made Tam say, "Okay, we're going to do this. And now
I
you're $1 million company. So
yes.
people want to know those secrets.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, that was probably right toward the end, like that story I just told you. And I
Mhm.
thought, what am I doing? Right? What am I doing? And when that's the coach said I had to learn how to get over myself. So I was thinking I was an entrepreneur. And an entrepreneur doesn't have to go back to work. An entrepreneur just can make some money. You can just do it. But I was just ego was taking me over too on top of
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
So right after that, I said, you do not have to live this way, and I got up and I went and got a temporary job, a funny enough job. I got the best job ever. One of those little jobs. I got it for the city of Beverly Hills.
Mhm.
Okay. Oprah Winfrey called the office when I was doing that job. Oh yeah, there's a whole nother story. There's a whole nother story. Oh
Okay,
my
you got to tell me
gosh.
that when I see you in Vegas. Okay.
Yes. But yeah, just got me a temporary job. Started to get my mind right. I met up with a friend of mine. This is another thing that happened before this happened. He had just started doing very well in his business, and I asked him, "Can I take him to lunch?"
Mm.
And he told me some amazing things, and that's another thing that really started to get me. So as a tip,
Getting
find
mentored.
someone that you know that can. You just ask them to lunch. If nothing else, ask them to lunch and listen. Listen more than you talk.
Mm.
Listen
Mm.
more than you
That
talk.
is
So he told me
very
some
good.
really amazing things, and it changed my life.
Wow. And so things began to turn around, really shifting your mind,
Yep.
shifting, coming out of getting over yourself, like what you said in the
Mm-hmm.
quote in the magazine, and
Yep.
then really just pulling it all together. Now, let's tell us about your first book. Well, not the first book, but the other book, not the very, very first book, but the book that was inspired the whole Boss Up movement.
So, okay, so the one of the books that I did early on was A Woman's Side Hustle. That was one of my very
Mhm.
first books.
Mhm.
But the first book that really inspired the whole movement was called Women Who Boss Up. And it started because in January of 2020, I had an event that I created in 2 weeks. And it was based on Tiffany Haddish's event, Tiffany Haddish's movie that came out called Like a Boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I decided, because I have worked with companies before to help them to promote their movies. So I said, I can do that. So I just called up the movie theater and started working on something. Got a room across from that movie theater and had this whole event. Had 100 ladies show up. It was a whole thing. I
In
had
2 weeks.
2 weeks from concept to pull it off. And I almost killed myself. I said, Tam, don't ever do that again. That is insane. I was
It's
like
brilliant.
about to pass out. But I pulled it off. At any rate, I said, you know what, Tam, if you're going to make it 2020, because everybody was so excited for 2020. I said, you got
Mhm.
to come in like a boss. You got to come in. And that movie came out. And I was like, yes, I'm going to do it big or go home. And I did this event. And then I was going to do another one with Issa Rae because I have a girlfriend. One of my clients was her hairdresser. So I said,
Okay.
I'm going to do another movie event just like that.
I
I can
love
get
Issa
to
Rae.
Issa, me too.
Mhm. Mhm.
And that was going to happen, I think, in April or something. And then COVID
Pandemic.
happened. Yeah,
Yeah, pandemic.
pandemic. So
Mhm.
that March, I said, well, wait, what am I do? So I had to boss up. That was literally what happened. And I created a book, started going to Facebook, looking for women that needed to boss up themselves, told
Mhm.
them my idea, and I got 16 ladies to say yes. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
And that's what happened. Yeah,
And then now the community has grown,
it
and like you
has.
said, 11,000 women that came to the events last year, and you're on Air Meet every week as
Yes.
well. And that's just a whole nother conversation in itself. But
Mm-hmm.
the way you use technology and use every parts of your life to boss up,
Yes.
the connections, the mentorship, all the different things that you really tell women the things to be successful.
Yes.
I want to say that there was someone who spoke very highly of you. I want to give her a shout out as well. Is Betty Hines.
Mm-hmm.
And Betty Hines said that she is just really, really so proud of you
Oh,
and the
thank
things
you.
that you're doing. She is another $1 million business owner as well. She's
Mm-hmm.
a woman that's bossing up as well. But one of the things that I always say about events, and this is why I am like Kiera is coming. Johnson, Letitia Nicole is coming and speaking, and Talisha Berry, is that birds of a feather flock together. That if you
Yes.
want to go up, you've got to show up. And
That's
so
right.
showing up in events where women are, like you said, the Veronica um,
Figueroa.
Figuerello, I mean, just to be in the room with someone like that, to hear their wisdom, I applaud you for bringing them together because you made the phone call, you put them together, you picked the place. You're really more or less like incubating all of this. And what comes out of it is like you don't know what births come out of it, you don't know relationships, but you know that in your past, people did that for you.
Yes.
That's how things come. And then you're in a brand new city as well. So I also want to make sure that you meet some of the people that I know in Vegas. One is Carmen Woodruff, who is a great singer and opera
Mhm.
singer.
Mhm.
Alicia Gibbs, who's a PR person. Margot Williams, who's a a PR person who also does real estate, but because you're in Vegas, and then Mary House, of course, as well. She's
Yes.
a minister there. So there is just such connections, but I always implore people to show up.
Yes.
Don't stay on the sideline. Don't be the wall person on the wallflower. Show up and meet and be authentic.
Yes.
Ever since I met you, Tam, you've always been the same. You've been authentic. It's always been in your heart. You tell the story, like you said, you even today, you still tear up about it. But when we first met, you kind of you told me that, and that was a couple of years ago. But
Yeah.
just to see your success and just growth in it shows to the stick to itiveness. Shout
Yes.
out to your great operations manager, because you cannot scale up and boss up if you don't have a great operations person. So
Oh,
Kim Lamar,
yeah, Kim Lamar. Okay, so let me tell you about Kim Lamar really, really quick. I have to give a shout out to Kim.
I love her. She is
Kim is
boss up.
the best. Oh my
Yeah.
God. So Kim used to be in an old business of mine. We've been friends for like 11 or 12 years. And Kim has done most of my events. So like we did that event in 2 weeks. Kim was helping me with that event. I called her up, said, girl, we gotta do this. So she's done a lot of my stuff with me, my
Mhm,
craziness. But
mhm.
Kim, when I was looking for operations manager just recently, and I was saying out loud as I was walking, I was kind of walking, praying, talking out loud, saying the what they need to be. And then the second thing that I said after I named all these things, I said, Kim Lamar.
It's like
Literally, it
that's
came
what you
right
need,
out.
right?
Yeah, so I
Mhm.
called her up and she's been amazing, of course.
Oh my God. So I put in the chat over here, Boss Up Tickets, the
Hmm.
Bitly. Boss Up
Yeah,
Tickets, people can go there and actually get the tickets to, even if they just come to the gala. Can people
yes.
just come to the gala?
They can just come to the gala.
Just come and hang out.
Yes, and I would say, depending on what your goal is for your business. Okay, so think about this. And I'm going to tell you, a couple weeks ago, I was a little down. I had just come back from Paris. I had gotten bronchitis. I was
Mm,
feeling a little overwhelmed because we just closed on our house. It was a
wow.
lot going
That's a
on,
lot going on. And a new city, right?
and a new city, just all this stuff. And I was a little down. I had a little bit of black cloud, and I thought, oh my goodness, I am feeling overwhelmed. So I went to an event, an E-Women event, because I'm also
Oh,
part
okay.
of E-Women. I
I
love
like
E-Women.
e-women.
So
Hmm.
I went to an E-Women event. Shout
Kim and
out to
Sandra.
Sandra Yancey.
Yes,
Yeah,
Kim and
Kim and
Sandra.
Sandra.
Hmm.
And they took that cloud right off my head, and I just was like all sunshine and light and rainbows. I'm telling you, I'm like, that is a powerful event.
It is. It really is.
Mhm.
It is one of those things where it will just pull you out of yourself, okay?
Yes,
Because you've got to come, you've got to be on. So it's like the event will turn your light switch on.
it sure
So
will.
those that Samuel, Latrice, if you can't come, tell a friend of a friend to
Hmm.
come and to be there, because it's one of those things. It's Boss Up and Scale. It's a book launch and expo. You just never know. you just
Yes.
never know. Those that show up go up. And she's having other events as well. So read Speakers Magazine, read the cover story.
Mhm.
Again, I can kind of present it and it's like, okay, I can share the screen a little bit. It's
Isn't
like,
that
okay.
good?
I know. It's like, okay, so yeah, so then you kind of see all of that. And that was the one that was a video that we did when we first met years
Mm-hmm.
ago.
Yeah, look at that. And that's something. I'm looking, I was looking like we just woke up.
I know we were and we both had our dogs, right? We both had our
Yes.
dogs. They was like National Dog Day. Both of us had like these little bitty dogs. So I just
Mhm.
can't wait to see you next week. You and Kim and your whole team. It's going to be an amazing event. The real estate part, the business part, the marketing part, the book launch part, and all of the ladies in your community. It's really, really going to be fun. And the gala
And the
that is for
gala,
Dress for
yes.
Success. So it is all coming together. I'm just so excited to be a part of it, promoting it and having you on the cover. It's so much going on. And then the books, all of the
Yes.
books, and people can be a part of the books that you have coming up by going to deluxelifemedia.com.
They can,
Yeah,
yes. And
yeah.
then they can also send me an email or send me a message if they want to know a little bit more about it, and tam@deluxelife.com.
Okay.
So I look forward to, any kind of, connection. I love it.
Very good, very good. There it is, the bit.ly bossuptickets.com. You
Hmm.
can get that there as well. So cool, cool, cool. All righty. Well, I will talk with you later. Thank you so much for joining us today, Tim.
Thank you so much. I love it. Thank you so much.
And we'll actually have the magazines there as well. So that will be everybody will be there and they will have their magazines, the physical magazines,
I
like
love it.
the
Yes.
actual magazine. This is for the March, but they'll actually
Yeah.
have the physical magazines as well as some other surprises and things that we'll have there as well.
I
So
love
thank you
it.
so much for joining Speakers Magazine family. I will talk to you soon.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
So that was Tam Luck. Again, go to deluxelifemedia.com. You will just really see all the things that she's doing. Follow her on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that. It is one of the things that she does really, really well. And I always say that you can learn a lot sometimes by just, some things are taught and some things are caught. So they can only be caught if you show up. And so that's one of the things I always encourage you. So please make sure that you stay connected to TAM. With that, I am Dr. Pam Perry and I am out. Make sure you check out speakersmagazine.com. All righty, take care. Bye bye.